You would be shocked to learn about the adverse health impacts of sleeping less than 6 hours. In this video, I explain what important health issues happen to your body if you don't get enough sleep. So if you watch the video until the end, your attitude toward lack of sleep will change completely. First, sleep deprivation and weight gain. It's very interesting that lack of sleep can actually make you feel hungrier. Here is why. When you are sleep deprived, your body produces more of a hormone called ghrelin. That's the one that tells your brain, hey, I am starving. At the same time, your levels of leptin, the hormone that says, okay, you have had enough, start to drop. So what happens? You're left craving food, especially the kinds that are high in sugar and unhealthy fats. When your body is not well rested, it struggles with processing insulin, the hormone that helps control your blood sugar. Over time, this can lead to something called insulin resistance, where your body has a harder time managing blood sugar levels. That not only promotes weight gain but also increases the risk of issues like type 2 diabetes. But it's not just about hormones. Lack of sleep also affects your habits and decision making. Think about it. When you are exhausted, are you really in the mood to cook a healthy meal or hit the gym? Most people aren't. Instead, they reach for quick, calorie-dense snacks and chips, cookies. Studies have shown that people who have consistently get poor sleep end up eating more calories overall. Combine that with less physical activity because you are too tired to exercise and you have got a recipe for weight gain. This issue is even more concerning for kids and teenagers. When they don't get enough sleep, they are not just cranky, they are also at a much higher risk of obesity. Part of the problem is that younger people today are spending too much time on their phones, tablets, or gaming late into the night. That screen time is into their sleep, which messes with their hunger signals and make them more likely to snack impulsively, and those habits can carry into adulthood. Next, lack of sleep and diabetes. Studies shows that people who regularly sleep less than 6 hours per night are more likely to develop insulin resistance. Insulin resistance means your body doesn't respond to insulin properly, which is a major risk factor for diabetes. When we don't sleep enough, our blood sugar levels can spike. That's because sleep plays a big role in how our bodies manage glucose or sugar in blood. Over time, if you are constantly sleep deprived, these fluctuations can lead to prediabetes or even full-blown type 2 diabetes. Now, if you already have diabetes, poor sleep can make things even worse. One of the key hormones involved here is cortisol, also known as stress hormone. When you are sleep deprived, your cortisol levels go up, and this can raise your blood sugar levels as well. The more cortisol you have, the harder it is for your body to keep blood sugar in check. If you have diabetes, lack of sleep can also make it harder to stick to your diabetes care plan. When you're tired, it's a lot easier to lose motivation to check your blood sugar levels or exercise regularly. Plus, sleep deprivation can affect your memory and concentration, making it even harder to keep up with dietary guidelines or manage condition effectively. Next, skipping sleep and your heart. When we don't get enough sleep, it messes with more than just our energy levels. It can seriously harm our cardiovascular system. Research has shown that people who suffer from sleep deprivation have a higher chance of developing serious heart problems like heart attacks, high blood pressure, and even strokes. Here is how. Normally, your blood pressure dips a little while you sleep, which gives your heart a break. But when you are not sleeping enough, this dip doesn't happen, and your blood pressure stays elevated all day long. This constant high blood pressure puts a strain on your heart and blood vessels, which can eventually lead to hypertensive heart disease and other heart-related issues. When you don't sleep well, your body pumps out more of a hormone called cortisol, which is also known as a stress hormone. Elevated cortisol not only messes with your metabolism, but also triggers inflammation throughout your body. Chronic inflammation plays a big role in the development of heart disease. Plus, sleep deprivation increases the levels of other inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin 6, which further raise your risk of cardiovascular problems. But it's not just about hormones. Sleep deprivation also affects how you behave too. When you are tired, you are less likely to exercise and more likely to reach for unhealthy food. Fatigue makes it easier to choose junk food, which often leads to weight gain and obesity, both major risk factors for heart disease. Lack of sleep also makes people turn to things like caffeine and nicotine to stay awake, and these stimulants can actually make heart problems worse. Next, lack of sleep and brain function. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain struggles to properly store and organize memories. You've got this area in your brain called the hippocampus. It's like the filing cabinet for your memories. When you are sleep deprived, this area doesn't work as well, which makes it harder to remember things both new and old. This is because sleep helps with a process called memory consolidation, which is like transferring information from short-term memory to long-term storage. Without enough sleep, this process is compromised, so you may find it harder to recall things when you need them most. Studies reveal that individuals who consistently fail to get enough sleep are at a significantly higher risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. One reason for this is the buildup of something called beta amyloid plaques, which are linked to Alzheimer's disease. These plaques accumulate when you don't get enough rest, and they can damage your brain cells, leading to long-term cognitive issues. Next, lack of sleep and immune system. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your body's defense system takes a serious hit. Think of your immune system like a security team. It needs rest to stay sharp. Without it, it can't produce enough antibodies or immune cells to fight off infections. This is why people who sleep less are more likely to catch a cold or get sick after being exposed to a virus. And there is more. Your body produces special proteins called cytokines while you sleep. These proteins play a big role in fighting infections and reducing inflammation. But if you are not getting enough rest, your body doesn't make enough of them, leaving you more vulnerable to illness. So if you want to avoid these health risks, you should aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep.